Welcome to the Meditation Ward. My name is Nadia, and I'm excited to bring you this podcast. Every week, I talk to interesting people who also meditate. Stick around for the episode after this for a guided meditation. Are you trying to create your own meditation practice? Well, you're in luck, because in January, we're offering a live class starting the first Sunday in January for 7 weeks. Each week, we're going to be offering new tools to help you create a practice that you love. This is a lifelong gift for yourself or for a friend, and I'm really excited to lead you in it. Go to themeditationward.com to sign up. Please rate and review us wherever you listen to your podcast, because it helps more people find us, and we'd love to share this podcast with more people. We hope you enjoy the episode. Hey everyone, I know you heard the intro, but again, my name is Nadia, and I'm really excited to have you guys listening to the show today. I'm excited to get to talk to Fabienne Louis. Fabienne is a certified medical intuitive, Qigong and Sound Practitioner, and an inspired artist. She's passionately committed to guiding individuals, particularly creatives and solo entrepreneurs, on a transformative journey to reclaim their energy, self-confidence, and true inner power. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Fabienne.
Thank you so much, Nadia. I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah. So, tell us, where are you from? I know you're in the U.S. now. What brought you here? What's your story with that?
Yes, I'm from France. I was born there. I've been living in the United States for the past 19 years now. I'm married. I have 2 kids who are 13 and 17 now. And I live near New York City, New Jersey, in a very nice area.
Nice. What ended up bringing you here?
My husband got a job opportunity to come to the United States. I was living in London before, so I always loved to travel and meet new people and learn about culture. So I was always, wanted to go to other countries.
Yeah.
And we like it here. So, we said 3 years and now it has been 19 years. So.
Yeah, I'm in Nashville because of my boyfriend got opportunity here. So you just kind of move and flow with it and see what happens. Have you had a very much opportunity to get to explore the US or traveling since you've been here with kids?
Yes, we love with the kids to go to the national park. So we did at least 10 of them. And we love to be in nature, hiking. It's hiking and swimming, I guess. It's top 2 priorities for the family. It's what we do during our vacation. So It's so beautiful to go to this national park and see different landscape and different natures and animals and whoever you meet on the way. So it's beautiful. We love it here. Yeah,
that's awesome. So what is a medical intuitive?
So that's a good question. So just to go back a little bit about what brought me to become a medical intuitive, because I've been doing a lot of research of myself, for the past years. And what I learned going through a big burnout, it was to come back to my intuition, to go back to my inner guidance, because any doctor couldn't find any solutions to my problem. And it was getting worse.
You had a lot of inflammation issues?
Yes, I had a really big burnout after my second child was born, trying to be a wife, a mom, having a 9-to-5 job and trying to be happy and everything, but it wasn't working for me. And I have, a lot of things going on with my body. I wasn't very happy. So in my head, a lot of questions and couldn't find answers. We're going to many specialists and they couldn't find any answer until I say, it's going to get worse if I don't find something, and I knew in myself that I was creating all this, my stress level and everything. So at one point, I always have this voice in my head, and I say, okay, I'm going just to listen to this one time, to this voice who was telling me, you are creating this reality. If you really want to change it, just change, your belief about your life, and why, you always want to have more, but you see only the lacks and what you are liking. And, it was all about following my inner guidance. So it's what I did. And I started to do some research on Google, how people can heal themselves. And, it's how I came up with meditation and Qigong, and really helped me to clear my body, to reverse my symptoms, to get back to myself, and to have a clearer mind, and know my life purpose, and find out that I have, intuitive gifts. Since I was born, I'm very empathic and highly sensitive to the energy of other people, but I didn't know I have those abilities, to tap into people's body. So I really took different modalities. I really was so surprised and excited to see that the more you listen to your inner guidance, the more you can create and manifest what you want in life. So I really wanted to go deeper, and I passed those different certifications where you develop your intuition. And medical intuitive is one of them. You can do it with yourself or someone else. You just scan the energy of the body, you scan the organs, and you just, for me, it's my inner knowing. I ask questions: what's going on? Why this organ is not working properly? What, or why these symptoms? And I get answers that, most of the time it's limiting belief, it's thought, emotion, and press emotion who are stuck in our energetic body, stuck in our organ somewhere. And it's just going to be like it's a stagnant energy who is going to block the flow of energy coming in and out from this organ. So it means that the blood flow is not circulating properly. There is not enough blood. So of course, there is not enough nerve connections. There's a lot of going on. So if you just go and remove this energy, this, limiting thought or emotion from this organ, the flow is going to go back, because your body knows how to heal itself. So the medical intuitive just facilitates the healing for, find out what it's causing the stagnation of energy in one of those body function, and just remove it so the body can heal itself properly.
Yeah. I love taking deep dives into Carolyn Mays and some of her work. I don't know if you know her. She's like the most famous medical intuitive. And yeah, it's pretty wild how much you can receive just by intuitively working with someone, and how right on you can be. Yeah. So and Qigong, you talked about that. I know about Tai Chi. I feel like people are a little bit more familiar with Tai Chi. Can you explain what Qigong is? I know Qi is a word for energy. I think.
So yes, exactly. The Qi, so we said Qi in Chinese, it's the life force energy. Gong, it's how to cultivate, the effort you have to put to cultivate your life force energy. And Qigong is part of a traditional Chinese medicine with herbs and acupuncture. And it's ancient practice. Our ancestors 5,000 years ago, they could trace, they knew they were they could feel their energy in their body. They knew they were working physically outside. So one day they come up with a pain or some emotions, they knew how to clear it, doing some slow movements, some breath work, some meditation, some visualization. There were many techniques in Qigong. And they would clear it so they don't have any symptoms. But our modern society, we don't do this kind of tuning to our energy every day to see how we are doing, and we just start to accumulate our stress or unprocessed emotion until one point our body says stop, you cannot do that, and we start to have symptoms and or feel sad or depressed because we don't do the work. So Qigong, it's all about bringing back this energy. It's the universal life force energy who is around us. We are all made of this, the tree, us, and it's inside of us. It flows freely through the meridians. You can see sometimes those meridians, trace. So meridians are pathway of energy, and if everything goes well, when you're happy, healthy, and everything, it should flow freely. But when you start to, to have too much emotions, stuck emotion and press emotion or fears or something you're stuck in, the flow is going to decrease, and you are going to have stagnation of energy in your body, or depleted energy, like when you feel drained at the end of the day, you don't have enough energy. So just by bringing back energy from, nature outside of you, bringing back to your body, to your organs, you can rejuvenate any part of your body just by practicing.
Yeah. I think that, Western medicine uses medication, and it's kind of a band-aid for a lot of things to like cover it up or make those symptoms better without always addressing the underlying issues. And of course, I take medication for, mental health, and I definitely don't think it's a bad thing, but I do think the combination of the work is really important. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. You're right. It's very important to do both. The work is going to clear the cause of the issue and be followed by doctors, so you can, have a better health and feel better.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. So what was the transition from going from like a 9 to 5 career and stepping away from that into this work that you're doing now? I'm sure that caused stress when you're trying to relieve stress.
Yes, exactly. No, that's right. I had to quit my 9 to 5. I couldn't, during my burnout, I was so drained. I have to take nap in the morning, in the afternoon. There is no way I could keep a job. And when I started to do my Qigong and meditation, I quickly, start to have more energy, and the inflammation started to go away. So I was, so excited that I said, oh my gosh, people need to know it's possible, doing some work on yourself, you can heal, repair your body. And so I started to pass certification of Qigong and, giving solid classes of Qigong. But like you said, it's a big transition to have a, secure job 9 to 5 and going slowly by just giving, classes and not knowing, how I'm going to do to help financially my family. So it took me like many years, because after you go to these things where, you learn this and you want another certification on something else, and you want to learn, and you go in these things of learning and not, working and bringing income at the same time. So at the end, it's all about your limiting belief, your imposter syndrome. Why should I be out there helping people who I am? Also, I'm an artist, so, I love to paint, but it's the same. I mean, when you are creative, there's always this block, I need to sell. So it's two different aspects of yourself that you need to work together to find this harmony, that it's possible. Work on your fears, work on your emotion, what is going on. And the more you clear, the more you are confident, you get motivated every day, you get clarity, confidence, and it's amazing what you can accomplish when you do this inner work on yourself.
Yeah, because it's like we do live in a society where we have to make money to live.
Yes.
So it's definitely a balance, almost just like the balance we were just talking about of like Western and Eastern ways of looking at your body and your health. It's like it has to be a combo to survive.
Yes, and all the messaging we have since we are little, it's all you need to work hard, you need to get something, you need to study, you need to have all this education, and then all this, we have been brainwashed since we are so little, that it's many years that you have to unlearn that it's okay, and you can have a career and whatever you really are passionate about. You don't need to go for, we said to the kids, look, if there is a job, a career in something that you are sure there's a job at the end, but if it's not what you are meant to be, I mean, if it's not, if you're not passionate about it, you are going to be drained and, pushing yourself to go to work every day, feeling that you don't have a choice. And imagine how heavy is it in your energy just to push yourself to do something with no passion, or at least you don't enjoy, doing it. And it can be very, painful for your body, for yourself to do that for years. It's really, like I said to my kids, really do something that you love. Don't, I mean, it's good to take, advices here and there, but at the end, all the answers are inside. That's you. You are unique. We came to this life with different personalities, different life purpose, different callings. So always go back to, your sensation. Is it right for you? Is it the right choice? How do you feel? And even if you make a choice now, it's not something you cannot change in the future. Just say, okay, I'm doing that, temporarily until I figure out the next step, and that's okay. But for me, when I was 18, it's like, oh my gosh, you need to find a job that you are going to keep, all your life. You need to think about retirement plan before you start a job, and all this calculating, things, figuring out was too much for me. I was more of a spontaneous kid, and, I don't want to plan ahead. I just want to go with the flow. And it felt so constricted to myself that I was just pushing and copying, this is doing that, maybe I should try this, maybe I should try that. And I was like, who I am, in all these different choices. So it's always good to go back to yourself, for answers.
I think for our parents, it kind of was that way, where they did go to school and they did keep the same job. And now people apparently have like 4 to like 7 different careers in their lifetime. I try to like tell people when they're younger, like, I went to school for acting. Now I own a yoga studio. It's like, you literally never know. And it doesn't, what you're doing at that time when you're 18 years old, how is that? You're not going to be the same person when you're 30.
Exactly. So, like you say, we evolve, but the society evolved too. So that's okay, to see the different belief with different generations and see how things go. And I think your compass, it's always, go back to yourself, ask the right questions. Don't ask all your friends or your parents, should I do this? Should I do that? Because you get 15 different, answers, and then you're like, oh, I don't know.
But it is true. You're asking everybody and you get all these different answers, and you're just craving for someone to tell you the right one. So something that I found interesting in my work, and I'm curious about your experience, is that moment where you start looking inwards to try to check in with your truth and your answers. Was there a time where it was really hard to decipher what was your brain, what was your truth, what, like, the trust that has to be built to listen to yourself? Do you remember what that process felt like or looked like?
Yes, before it was for me, it's knowing it's almost like you have a different voice in your head. And so before my burnout, it was always, I'm not doing the right thing, I should be doing something else. And I was so frustrated because I wanted to spend more quality time with my family, but I was coming, late at night. I was tired and I wanted to play with the kids, and I was there playing 2-3 seconds. But I know in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to do that. My to-do list at home, my to-do list for work. And I was with them physically, but in my head, I couldn't relax and be with them. And so when I started, to do some meditation, and what helped me the most, I think it's my 1-week silent retreat to really find silence in your head, like calming those voices and knowing which one is my fear, which one is me, my higher self or my inner guidance, And it became clear to me, it was like, what's come from fear, it's always pushy, it's always, you are not doing the right things in the lack, or your ego man, like, don't say that, don't do that, because blah, blah, blah. And when it's love, it's, for me, it's coming from the heart, and it's not pushy, it's very soft, subtle, and it's your dream. I mean, it's the dream I have when I was younger, it's those visions that I have. And I just know I need to follow on my, inner guidance, those visions, those little, subtle energy, or like nuggets of insight. I need to follow on this, and not because if you wait like a second or two, then your fear comes up. Yeah, but that's not the right time, or all these excuses, like it's not the right time. You don't have white people around you, or whatever. It's so that's, I know it's my fear trying to get me, my mind, my subconscious mind, don't go out of your comfort zone. It's too risky. It's not the right time, and this could happen. And what if? And so this, I know it's my fear, and I just go in my heart, and I just go with my vision, my dreams, and I just follow that.
Yeah, because fear
Yes.
can really paralyze, people from
Yeah.
making any changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we don't
Yeah.
change, things still change,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not our choice because we didn't make any changes.
Yes, I know. And sometimes you can be in these loops and it never stops. So, I mean, for me, when I'm really not feeling good or in the right, mindset, I know I need to go for a walk and, come back, setting my intention. I want to clear myself, have a, clarity, whatever I want to do next, and come back. And I'm so refreshed or whatever, I feel more grounded and less in my head, So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's my quick
Um,
fix.
so I'm curious. I know that going on a silent retreat is in my near future of goals or dreams. What is a silent retreat like?
Yeah, so that was that was yeah, I just follow my inner guidance. I read about it, when I went to, I was really still in bad shape at this time. So I was like, oh my gosh, like so in my fear and shaking, before to drive. I have to drive 2 hours to go. It was a Buddhism center. And when I arrived, was I think everybody kind of knew each other from past, retreats. And I didn't know, but they just say the rules, before to start the next day the retreat. No eye contact. No, we don't talk for 1 week. You don't read, don't book, don't bring a book, don't bring a phone, don't occupy yourself with something else. It's just you, nature, and meditations. And the worst thing for me, it was the eye contact because, we were like 20 people eating together, going to meditation in the center, being in nature. And it's like, you pass someone and you don't look at the person, someone holds the door and you don't say anything, you don't look at the person. And it's so like very strange. You feel like, oh my gosh, I'm terrible. It's impolite to do, like all these beliefs that we have. We have been trained to look into the eyes, to say thank you many times. And it was very hard. And it took me maybe 3-4 days really to be attuned to this experience, and the meditation were 45 minutes. I think it was 2 or 3 times a day, and we have meal, and over time it was just in nature by yourself. And I really follow the rules. I really like, I'm 1 week away from the family, I don't want to, I want to have the best experience possible. And it wasn't easy because what happened, you are so, like every day you are so bombarded by so much information that you don't have, your brain doesn't have the time to sort out things, but you accumulate so much thing for years and years that when you go in silence like this, it's just like going back to those drawers of, whatever you accumulated, things are going to come back to the surface, because you are in silence, you're not doing anything else. So you have time to go and sort things out, and things are going to come back to you from maybe childhood, or maybe 10 years ago something happened and you completely forgot about an event, or someone is going to come, into your mind and say, why I'm thinking about this person? But most of the time it's something you need to clear, an emotion or something happened, or someone says something to you and you didn't like it, you feel very triggered at this time. And so it's how you clear, by releasing, bringing to the surface a lot of things that we just accumulated for so many years. And at the end of a retreat, after 1 week, I didn't want to go back to the world, knowing the noise, because you are so sensitive to the sounds, nature sounds and no sounds around you, and go back to, the cars. I drove for 2 hours without music this time. I'm like, how I did that? No music. I wanted to be in silence, just me and myself, and that was beautiful. Came back home. I sent everybody back. I just want to have a warm bath by myself. And it took me like 2, 3 days to really acclimate myself to the noise and talking to people and things like that. It was like very profound, but in a good way for me, as
Yeah.
experience.
Were you
Yeah.
allowed to, you talked about journaling earlier. Were you allowed to journal when you were there or like literally nothing?
No, I mean, you could do if you want, but they say no, it's better not. And that was my thing, I want, a week by myself. I want to write this book. I always have a book in my head and blah, blah, blah. So I brought so many things with me, and I didn't use it. I really wanted to follow their rules, and, it's for your best interest. It's kind of a distraction at the end, books, journaling, uh, I mean, the process is by itself. It's just releasing. You don't need to write what it's coming up, because it's already out there, and
When you were
yeah,
in
it can
the
be.
when you were in the woods by yourself, did you ever talk to yourself out loud? What if I would be like, "Hey, Nadia, that was really weird."
No, I don't think I did. Maybe I did, but I don't remember. I was really in my head, but I knew that in the wood at one point I was very scared, because so many fears came to the surface. I was scared that I'm going to be attacked by some wild animals. I was like at one point so paranoid when I was looking everywhere. Oh, I know something is going to come to me, and it was temporary, but it was, deep fear coming to the surface and everything. And I remember I was like kind of a panic attack, by myself, in the woods. But it went away after. I was fine. I love nature, but I don't know, something came up, and yeah,
Yeah. As far as
needed to be
your
clear.
As far as your art goes, not just after this silent meditation retreat, but after you started finding Qigong and all the other modalities that you found to help you release that even physical body stress, did you find that your art changed at all? How was that process, if any?
So my art, I mean, I've always been attracted since I'm young, to draw and do art. I never wanted to do both art, because I have this limiting belief that I wasn't good enough to study art. So, and I never pursue that, but, it was natural for me. Everybody was always saying I'm an artist, I'm supposed to do this and that. And never took the time, with my job and the kids. I was like, no, I don't have the time. One day, it's on your bucket list. So at one point, I said, I need to do something really, I'm passionate about. So I started with art, and really, I give myself permission to say, okay, if you're an artist, just, paint, do your thing. So I took like 2 or 3 weeks. I bought everything, and I just every day was painting, and it was beautiful. It's like a meditation. You are in your this kind of I don't know, another state, and you just like a writer, you write, I paint, I don't think about it. It was very intuitive, and it's the same. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful, I love your painting. But inside me I was still the imposter, like, oh yeah, but maybe not so good, maybe I should change this and that. And so I did have a lot of, clearing in my thought to be able to sell my art, to have this confidence that if I paint something, it's for someone out there. It doesn't have to be perfect. And um, so it was also another process, to digest that it's okay, to be an artist. You can be successful being an artist, and clearing all those thoughts and fear that we have about being someone creative and making money from that.
Yeah. So it was less of the
Mm.
fact that your art changed and more of the fact that it gave you permission to just
Yes.
go and
Yeah.
explore.
Yeah, everything it has to be in the flow. When we say flow of energy in your body, it's the same. For me, writing, painting, it's flow of energy coming through, your senses, and you have to do your interpretation of what you see and put it into something artistic.
Yeah.
So if you are not in the flow, it means that somewhere there is some thought or limiting thought that, blocking this flow of energy too.
Yeah. I kind of want to ask you what your food preferences are. um, how do you use food in your journey of keeping your inflammation down and keeping your body clean?
Yes. So as I change, my taste change, for the best. So before, when I didn't have time, I was worried about the food and the nutrition for my kids and myself because I didn't have time to cook. And I came from a French family, what we used to have our vegetable and to cook our soup and be very healthy, and family cooking all the time. And I was feeling so bad that I didn't have this experience with my kids. So, becoming after this burnout, I have more time for myself, and I'm so grateful for that, to be able to cook again, to receive my box of vegetables, to do a lot of juicing and eating a lot of vegetable and raw vegetable. It's very important, and I think it's something I would love to develop, to this education about food, because food gives you energy, and when you change your belief about food or anything you do, you are going to be attracted naturally to if you intuitively listen to your body is telling you what you want, but are we listening? Sometimes, oh, I don't have time to cook, or but your body, for me now, I'm just listen to my body, see what he wants, I just cook. Cooking doesn't take so much time, finally, if you organize your shopping and everything, and I feel like I have more energy than before. I lost a lot of weight just eating healthy, and it's very easy. It's not something you have to give so much effort. It's something natural at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a cookbook in your future.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah.
I love cookbooks. um,
Yeah.
so as coming back to the idea of stress and staying mindful and in the present, you have two teenagers. So I'm sure that comes with a certain level of, unknowns and stress and worry.
Mhm.
What is that like, and how do you address it?
Yeah. So I'm glad I was able to work on myself before they turned to the age of being teens, because by changing, the way I see things, and changing my energy, all the family around me, the energy in the family changed too. And we used to be so stressed, all of us. So now we are more peaceful. We have family time together. We are here for each other. We try to have at least we have activities and everything, but to try to eat together and have those conversations, how is your day, anything happen, if you have any questions, just be there, not be in my head like before, like, oh yeah, I'm here but I'm on my phone because I have a client, blah blah blah, but just be here for them, and have the time to always be there for them, for their questions. And so far, so good. Everything goes well. Sometimes, I know one of my children have anxiety, used to have anxiety. So we work on that a lot, and just always bringing them to the present moment. And one time when my son was little, he said, oh, mommy, I'm so worried to go to school and blah, blah, blah. And I say, it's in the future. In the future, you didn't create it yet. So why don't you change for something more positive, or, not thinking about all the negative or bad? And he was like, oh, okay, you're right. And he just was, smiling and happy because he found a solution to, whatever was going on in his head, and it was perfect, just and I told them also that we are all different, different type of personalities, so we have to accept, that people are not going to express themselves or to do things the way we will do it, and it's okay. We can all be different, and I think that was a big eye-opening to see that, some people are more introverts, some are more extroverts, some people, are more to-do list, like and someone can take his time, or, there's so many ways to work, and we have to accept that in each. And I know in my Fini we have 4 different type of personalities. So I'm so glad I learned about this, because before I was triggered by some of their, you shouldn't do this like that and do it that way, and wanted to change them, And then, I accepted that there are different way to function. So it's, another way to see that you are unique, and it's important to see that in others and accept the difference in others too.
Yeah. So while they had a mindset reset, are they open, or do they do a meditation practice, or that's not really a part of their life right now, but they have the energy around them?
Yeah, they have the energy around them. They are not doing in front of me any meditations, but I work with sound too. So they like the instrument. They can feel that there is something happening when I play a ball, a Tibetan ball or something. When they have any pain, they come to me. So, I explain what I'm doing, and, I tell them about the work they can do on themselves. So if they want to feel better in their head too. So they have some tools, that works for them. But I don't think they try the meditations, yoga poses. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, you have to be careful how much
But
you
they
try
like
to
to be in
push.
nature.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the thing. It's, yeah, I want them to discover by themselves. I don't want to be the one who is going
Yeah.
to push. And I always say to them, if something doesn't go well, in the future, or just go in nature, and just, everybody comes back so different when we go for a hike or walk outside. It just brings you back to, because you get the energy from the nature. You get more chi, and you feel more charged and more yourself when you come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned sound, like a Tibetan sound bowl. Sound healing is a pretty large part of your practice, correct?
Yes, I use
Yeah.
it too. Yes, with
Yeah.
group.
How
Yeah.
does sound healing work? How does it help your clients and yourself?
Yeah, so sound healing, it's also an ancient practice, back to the antiquity, where they used to bring people who were sick into a temple, and people used to sing to them or use those instruments, just because each instrument has different frequencies, and those frequencies are going to, travel in your body and release stagnant energy. So just the sound is going to clear a lot of, stagnant energy. You feel more relaxed when you do a group sound bath, or someone play an instrument. You can feel that you are present in the moment, but it can bring you to a theta wave or meditative state. And in this state, it's where the healing happens. You are not stressed. You are not in this fight or flight mode in your body. So it's a very easy way, just playing an instrument. And the most powerful one is your voice. If you can sing every day, it just also bring yourself to this state of being present, being yourself, being at peace inside.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't really think about your own voice and singing as a way of sound healing or
Yes.
vibration energy.
Yeah, so it's the number one, it's so powerful. And imagine a baby, when a mommy just sing to a baby, the baby can calm, you can see, the reaction of the baby. So it's the first, voice that you hear. It's your parents' voice and everything, and it's calming. And so that's the same as we grow up. We are not used to sing, but imagine our ancient, our ancient practice. In the past, they used to come back always at night. They never go from working in the field to sitting in the room. They knew that their energy need to, so people used to do these fire things and sing and dance and talk to each other and, laugh. And this community part that we don't have anymore, but it was part of a healing process, you know, just clearing what's going on today and see how you feel after singing or dancing. It's the same. It's another state of well-being.
Yeah. I feel like through this conversation, we've found that there's so many different ways of finding like truth. Like you went from talking about silence for a week and coming home and craving silence, and then also how beautiful sound and voice is to healing. And it's really interesting how everything can like be of
Yes,
service depending on how you're using it.
yes, exactly. And when I do a group sound bath, I like to take like 2-3 minutes at the end of silence, because it's the same silence. It's so powerful. It's where healing happen, you know, and we should. I mean, our life now, it's so busy. We are so connected to screen, to what's going on, you know, in the world and everything. We don't know what is silence anymore. Even in the area where I live, we still have trees, but I can still hear the train and cars and so many things. When I go back to my parents' middle of nowhere in the countryside, I'm like, wow, you know, I'm like, it's so silence, you know, I just hear little birds here and there, and there's different silence, you know, but it's what it does to you, you know, just compare and see and notice what change in you when you're in silence. And for me, it's the best way just to you know, get inner guidance, asking questions and receiving information, and be at peace with my life right now, and everything is okay. And your fear are just illusions, you know, they are coming, visiting you, and you always have a choice, you know. Do I take this fear on, or I just, no, thank you, you know, I don't need you, and go on with your life and staying in the love, you know, love. Like I said to people, you know, it's like radio. You cannot hear two radios at the same time. So you have to pick which one. Is it the fear radio or is it the love radio you are listening on? And you always have a choice. So, but we have to be conscious about it and just listen to the right radio.
Yeah. And coming back to choice, right? Where it's like there are times in our life where, especially I think when most of us are younger, where we want to look outside for our answers on our choices, and coming back to
Yes.
the place where you're in now, where the choice lies within, but it still can kind of be a struggle between the two. And you still
Yes,
have to
yes.
center and come back to the true choice. Yeah.
Yes. Like we said, it's a practice, you know, but the more you do, the more you are able to notice, you know, what is fears or not, and how to do better choices. Yeah.
Yeah. As far as you have so many modalities that you use. Do you have a daily consistent practice of meditation, or does it kind of ebb and flow? What does your meditation practice look like now?
I like to meditate like 20 minutes in the morning. It just bring me to a place of clarity and know better what I need to do that day, how to organize my day after that.
What does that
And
practice look like? Like, what do you do when you sit?
so it just being in silence and just connected first with my breath. So, you know, and then I'm in another state, like theta wave probably. And I'm just receiving information or visions, and I ask questions, and I'm, you know, uh, I like to call it the strategy sessions, you know, in the morning, because I like to plan ahead, and you know, I sometimes you have many choices or things or to-do list, you know, and I'm like, okay, and I just go with, you know, what should I do to not should, but what is the best thing I can do today, and I get some answer, some piece of information, and sometimes I'm like, oh, you sure? You know, you are not, and I ask, you know, give me a vision. Why should I do that? Because I don't feel like I want to do it, and I get a vision. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't see like that, you know, and it just comforts me, and I know that I just need to do that today and start by that. And you know, it's just question answers, you know, like almost like you're talking to someone else. And I do this little strategy session, so I know exactly, the next step that I need to do.
Yeah. I feel
Mm.
like that's kind of probably for a lot of people relieving to hear that. I feel a lot of times people tell us, just look for quiet, come back to the breath, let the thoughts go. But also, it's nice to know that you can have thoughts, you can have a conversation, and you can find peace within that. And you don't have to be expected to look for
Yes.
spaces of silence. So, this is kind of a relief.
Yes, yes, you're right. There's not always this very silence, thoughts are coming, fear are coming. When you know how to identify, how to pick the one you want, and say, okay, now I don't need that now, leave it on the side. And you're clear, and you can always ask more questions, because it's your soul, your inner guidance. It's going to tell you exactly what's the best for you.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, for people that are newer to a meditation practice or just exploring new meditative tools, do you have any advice that you would like to give to people?
Yeah, I mean, people, the thing is, it's a vibration. We are vibration. So when you're in meditation, sometimes, uh, we feel like ourselves, we feel connected to our dreams, our visions, and then we are done with meditation and we go back to work or cooking or whatever we have to do. And I see people like, when they do their meditation, they believe it, they believe, in the process and everything, but then they go back to their fears and, I need to do that, I need to do that. But most of the time we need to prioritize, because the thing we think we need to do, mostly, we do it for someone else. It's not our dreams, so we have really to be clear, what are your goals every day? And from your goals, see, are you doing it for yourself? You have to be your first priority in life. Make sure you always have your mask of oxygen first on yourself before helping anybody else. Because I used to be, I'm an empathic, so I used to do so many things for so many people around me, and I thought it was my job. It was like, oh, but I want to help my friends, I want to help my family, and this and that. But at the end of the day, I didn't have enough energy for my project, and I was pushing everything, back to the end. So I was so frustrated after, because I wasn't making progress in direction of my goals and my objective. And I was like, how come, But I was a people pleaser. I was an empathic. I wanted to be the peacemaker with everyone, and I was doing so much for other people. So you can train yourself doing that. So you have to really be clear about, your goal every day, your to-do list. What is it for you? You need to do first thing in the morning, if you can, your priority on your project. And then, have sometimes to do like with family task, or of course, if you have a job for someone else, but always take some time for yourself first. Make sure yes.
Yeah. What time do you get up?
Around 7:30 sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to get up very early in the morning, and I really love like a very early morning walk when nobody's up. But right now in winter, I'm like not doing it right now. But
Yeah.
summertime, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially now that your children are at an age where they can get their own breakfast and shower or
Exactly.
not shower, whatever they do. They can make those choices on their own now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, everyone is in for a treat because the second episode of our meditation today is a little bit different. Would you like to share what you're going to offer for the meditation?
Yeah, so we talk about sound healing. So I'm going to do a sound meditations, where I bring, like I do a small meditation in the beginning, and then people can lay down, relax, and just let the sounds, be bathed by the sounds, the frequencies. Some people can fall asleep, and that's okay. And at the end, I just bring back everybody back to their bodies. So I used to do that for the new moon, because the new moon, it's a good time, to use this cosmic energy to set your intentions, to give power to your intentions. It can be done also for the full moon, where you want to clear more of those limiting thought and belief, stagnant energy. Or it can be anytime also, we can do it. So that's a good, it's something you can use, depends if you want to set your intention. You can always set your intentions, but with a new moon, it's something special for the months to come, to see slowly and slowly your project, growing with this energy.
Yeah. Such a treat, because all of them so far, like verbally guided meditation. So I think it's going to be so beautiful for people to get to check this out as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's very relaxing. So
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy.
Is there anything that you feel like you wanted to say or cover that we didn't talk about?
No, I think the most important for people is to understand, like we say, all the answers that you need are, unique to yourself. You have it, and it's always good to check in with yourself, with your body, asking questions, just listen, receive the answers, and just act on it. Don't listen to the fear coming up after.
Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
have all your information in the show notes below of where people can find you, but would you like to share them verbally as well?
Yeah, so you can find all the information on my website. It's my name, fabiennelouis.com, FABIENNELOUIS.com. And from there, I'm on Instagram as well. And you can find, all the sound bath and other services on offer. I offer to everyone.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing, and thank you so much for offering this time to talk to me today and to share this with our listeners.
Thank you, Nadia. Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone, for listening.
Yeah. And I look forward to keeping in touch with you, and thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Have a great
Bye-bye.
rest of your day. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys for listening. We hope you stick around for the meditation on the next episode. If you're interested in wellness coaching through a meditative lens, or starting your own meditation practice with accountability, check out themeditationward.com. Give us a follow on Instagram @themeditationward, and please review us, and share with your friends. See you soon.